Have you ever wondered what makes some people naturally charismatic, super adaptable, and full of this creative energy? Now we are diving into the world of ENFPs, extroverted intuition feeling and perceiving types, who are one of the most intriguing and dynamic personality types in the world. Stereotypically, ENFPs are known from their ability to inspire, entertain, and connect with people around them. Let's explore their idealistic nature, their incredible talent for persuasion, and how do they navigate their life's challenges with this kind of visionary, idealistic nature. Let's get started. Stereotypically, ENFPs are often seen as walking paradoxes, which means that they have this chaotic nature and they often puzzle people around them. They don't really make a lot of sense to most of us. They have this kind of unique approach to life, and their way of handling hardships is definitely something unique. ENFPs have an informing and initiating interaction style. Informing, which means that by discussing and interacting with people, they want to inform, they seek to inspire, entertain, and motivate people to do actions by giving information. They are initiating, which means they are reactive to situation. They react to changes and they are highly adaptable. They have an idealistic, people-focused types. And even if they don't relate to being super idealistic, they do have a tendency for idealism. What that means? Well, I think the reason why a lot of ENFPs can have like this kind of activist mindsets comes down to the fact that they have this tendency for idealism. Even though ENFPs are extroverted intuition users, which means that even though they are extroverted, they are still a lot in their head, which might make them also feel more introverted than extroverted. But the common thing for all ENFPs is that even if you feel like you're more introverted, you are still heavily influenced by the people around you and by the society. ENFPs have an individualistic and people-focused nature. What does that mean? ENFPs believe that all people are individuals with their special skills and talents. ENFPs are good as working as a bridge between people, between teams, and creating connections between people. ENFPs also often possess strong moral values. And when you're dealing with an ENFP, when you're interacting with one, remember that they might expect you to read between the lines, because they do not always tell you directly what they are actually thinking. This is why ENFPs can be the masters of persuasion. ENFPs are the ones that can sell you anything. They are like walking brands. Their exceptional charisma can really make them extremely good salespeople, because they do care a lot what other people think, how do other people view the world, and they know that what other people believe to be true can be used to influence other people. How do you see someone is an ENFP? Well, if they talk a lot about other people, other people's achievements, what other people are doing, other people's educations, ENFPs are conscious of what other people think and what are the status of other people. Let's explore ENFPs with their cognitive functions. ENFPs have an extroverted, which means outwards focused way of interacting with the abstract. Their extroverted intuition wants to create positive outcomes, positive possibilities, and it does not want to be restricted. They excel in seeing different components interacting with each other and creating new kinds of connections. Compared to an introverted intuition user, an extroverted one can have multiple components in the abstract simultaneously. But this is why the negative side of this function is that ENFPs might struggle to find a certain direction in their lives. And this is why they might worry about the future. Future and decisions, like strict decisions, might really worry them and create anxiety in them. Their explorative nature really craves the opportunity, craves to be free to choose whatever, and they might easily feel too restricted when given limitations. This is why they might also see different directions and paths for other people and have like this idealistic nature to it, like believing in multiple opportunities at the same time, seeing the beautiful potential in all of these things. Introverted feeling, the internal subjective understanding of myself, my feelings, and my identity. ENFPs have this kind of nurturing parental attitude towards their own feelings and morals and identity. Even though they can be highly analytical people, they have this sense of meaning that is based on their values, based on their feelings, that is really behind their actions in everything. Even if they might always understand their emotions highly impacts their decisions and their actions. On the bright side, ENFP might be super empathetic towards themselves, sympathetic, understanding their own emotions, understanding how to prioritize their emotional well-being. But this is why they might struggle with being actually empathetic towards others. This is why ENFPs sometimes care more about looking good towards others than actually being good towards others. Their self-worth is also highly dependent on other people. This function is why ENFPs are often driven by their humane approach to life. If an ENFP has already criticized their own feelings and their own self-worth a lot, they might end up in a loop where they do not want to receive negative input, because this input can be really sensitive to their understanding of themselves. Third function, we have extroverted thinking, the external thinking, the external systems and the systems of the society. And ENFPs have a childish, naive approach to it. And because of this, ENFPs are one of the most cutest when it comes to information and plans and execution, for example. ENFPs really enjoy ideas and they love talking with other people. They just talk and talk. They want to share things with you. They want to connect with understanding how do you think, what ideas do you have. Combined with their extroverted intuition and extroverted thinking, it is like playing around, like a playground of thoughts and ideas. This function is why they are information seekers. They love to read, they love to gather information from different sources all the time. As amazing as it is, ENFPs love intelligent, intellectual discussions. On the flip side, ENFP's perspective on ultimate truth is flexible. ENFP's focus is on the shared beliefs of people rather than the universal truth. Do not understand me wrong, ENFPs can be truthful, but ENFPs know the power of the beliefs of other people. They know that when a person believes something is true, what kind of an impact and how to talk with them, to interact and influence their behavior with their belief system and worldview. This function is also exactly why many people see ENFPs fake or manipulative. It is possible because ENFPs can be good liars. And what do I mean by liars? Okay, I don't mean that they are necessarily lying in a bad, evil way. No, they just don't think that there is like a truth to be figured out. They are childishly, naively approaching to people's beliefs. They can really say stuff that is not true, but in their head, that's really close to the truth of how they understanding the world. This is exactly why ENFPs are usually also the biggest gossip girls. Like seriously, they like to gossip around. Okay, not all of them, but many ENFPs have a tendency for gossiping. ENFP's last function in their ego stack is introverted sensing. So to balance this beautiful, abstract, big playground of ideas, they have the balancing function, which is so important to balance these things. The sensing function, the physical, the concrete, the reality. If their introverted sensing function is more inferior, repressed function, ENFPs can come across extremely chaotic and even afraid of small details and reality. On the other hand, if ENFPs are aspirational with their introverted sensing, they can be extremely organized and even excel in creating beautiful systems with their ideas and systematic approach combined with their concrete detail-focused approach. ENFPs might avoid past mistakes. Thinking about the past hurts them. Their past might really give ENFPs anxiety and worry because they avoid thinking their past mistakes. But I want to tell all ENFPs, if you don't deal with it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know, it does exist. And ENFPs can really be the ones that start being afraid of reality, the concrete reality, which sometimes is not as beautiful, but rather the harsh truth. And this can really come across as overwhelming for an ENFP. This is also the function why ENFPs often focus on their feeling of security and feeling of trust. ENFPs are also duty-driven and sometimes even anxious of their duties, and they might worry about if they are fulfilling their duties properly. This is exactly the reason why many ENFPs create security or trust networks around them, because they might be afraid of not being able to handle things properly by themselves. As a conclusion, ENFPs are personality types that like to start things, but finishing tasks is more difficult and challenging. At their best, ENFPs are the most loving, charismatic, selfless, charitable, and influencing personality types. But at their worst, they can be manipulative, fake, selfish, and even over-focused on status and appearances. It is key to understand that ENFPs have a tendency to overthink things. So to interact with an ENFP, you have to be extremely directing. You have to be able to tell them what you need, what you want, and what do you think. Remember, each ENFP is different from each other. While they share common traits, their individual experiences in the past shape who they are today. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this exploration of ENFPs, please like and comment below and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring personality types. See you!